Hello, I am Dr. Marilyn Ward with No Excuses, and we are moving on with our Change Your Mindset series. So this is the last one, and for the month, and so or this part of the series, and it is taking action. All right, so we are we're building. We have all these different topics that all fall under the umbrella of Change Your Mindset. And this is the one that you're going to actually take that one step of foot action into making it all come together for this change. So we're changing our mindset so we can live a healthier lifestyle, living our best lives, our best self. And all of these steps, if you've noticed, a lot of the steps or tips within each topic, they kind of either they're somewhat similar or they kind of feed off of each other. So we started off with overcoming our fear, which as soon as we say we want to do change, fear sets in because it's mostly fear of the unknown, right? We're fear of like, am I going to be able to do this? Or I don't really know what it's going to look like. So we got to first overcome our fear. Then we embrace the change. Change is coming. We're going to open it and we're going to accept it with open arms and be like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to get through it. Then we're going to build resilience because building resilience, you're going to get a lot of negative stuff coming at you. So the next one was building that resilience against the negativity and being resilient during that change because it's tough. That's a kind of a tough one that we go through. Cultivating gratitude. We have to be thankful for what we are going through. We have to be thankful for where we are and where we're going and all the steps in between. We have to be thankful for what we already have, what we already know, our capabilities, and know the more that we stay grateful, the more blessings that are going to come our way. Then we did positive self-talk. So we've got to keep talking positivity over our change or during our change, and we're going to nix that negativity and the negative talk immediately. We're going to squash it and we're going to replace it with pure positivity. And then lastly, today, taking action. So I'm going to give you some different tips, several different tips. Now you can do all of them. Maybe you only want to do a few of them, whatever it takes, but we're going to take that footstep action. We are going to actually put it into work, all of it coming together to change our mindset and to live our best life. So let's get started and pull this up a little bit. So number one, we're going to start with one small habit. So now there's going to be, like I said, there's several different actions that you can take. This happens to be one of them. So the action step is to choose one small habit to focus on for the next 30 days. Now, maybe it's the next 10 days, 30 days. They say it takes 30 days to make a habit. Some people say 28. I think 30 is easy because it's just because it's a full month. So the next 30 days, it could be a multitude of things. And maybe you want to do all of these, but maybe it's just to drink more water. Maybe you want to add 10 minutes of stretch every morning. Maybe it's, start going to the gym. Maybe it's an extra 15 minutes of sleep at night. But focus all your energy onto one of those habits, or maybe a couple, but one for sure, so it becomes a natural part of your routine, right? Our weight loss journey or our wellness journey, maybe it's not weight loss for you, should fit naturally into your life. You will be more successful at maintaining this journey if it easily fits into your life. So, for example, if you've never walked a mile, I'm not going to say go out and start walking a mile. No. Oh, you're already walking the dog? Okay, maybe walk the dog a little further. You're at work and you have an elevator, maybe start taking the stairs. So whatever it is that you're doing through the day, find a way that you can tie fitness into it, okay? Or, at night, maybe it's, you're shutting that computer down a little bit earlier to get that a little extra sleep at night. So whatever habit it is that you're trying to fix or trying to overcome or make better, focus on it. That one, maybe a couple if it's not a hard habit, but usually it's 30 days to make a habit. But it has to fit naturally, because if it doesn't and it becomes mundane to you, or if you're like, oh, I really hate running, then you're going to hate it and you're going to want to quit. So it has to easily fit into your life. for us to maintain it for the longest time. Why this works? Well, because starting small makes it less overwhelming, and building this new habit will give you the confidence to add more to it over time. So remember when I said when we celebrate those little successes, it motivates us to keep um, adding more goals to our plate and keeps us motivated to keep pushing forward to overcome all of our successes or to reach all of our goals. So maybe your action step is to set a weekly exercise goal. So, action step, commit to a realistic number of workouts each week. It could be 3, 4, 5 times depending on your schedule. Write them down on a calendar to help you stay accountable. So, why does this work? Because setting a specific number helps you stay consistent and creates a sense of commitment. So, remember, we want to fit it into our routine. When it's in your calendar, it's harder to ignore. For me, I have to say it out loud. Like I say, if it's a challenging one, if I say, "Ooh, I got a 10-mile run this weekend," if if I say it on Monday and keep kind of repeating it all week, by the time I get to Saturday, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got a 10-mile run this weekend, no big deal," because I've been mentally preparing it. But whatever your schedule is, so think about when you're thinking in terms of a workout. If you're doing weights, you want to make sure that you're not hitting the same body parts every day. So if you're doing a upper body one day, you can do lower body the next. So maybe your schedule is 5 days a week. Or if you're a total body workout person, maybe you're hitting the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 2 to 3 days of strength training is ideal. Cardio you can kind of do every day, like so many minutes a day, like 30 minutes a day of fitness or cardio, strength, whatever, yoga, maybe it's a HIIT class, but you want to break those up if you can. So maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, total body workout. Maybe Tuesday, Thursday, you're doing a HIIT or separate cardio or an extra cardio. Just whatever it is, get that schedule, get it made, try to stick to it as best as you can. You want to get to the point where you feel guilty if you miss a day. All right. That's when you know you've made a successful habit, when you feel guilty when you miss a day or you fall off. The next action step would be meal prep on Sundays or whatever day of the week. But typically, most people will meal prep on a Sunday so that way they have their meals all week. Now, if you work a weekend, obviously that's different. So take 1 to 2 hours every Sunday to prep your meals for the week, whether it's chopping the vegetables, cooking the grains or the proteins, and store them in easy, ready to grab containers for your meals. Maybe you're making a bunch and maybe you're freezing it. I like to already put them in a container, especially if you're working on the go, like if you're working outside of the home, which after COVID, so many people work from home now. So however you do it, maybe you keep all your proteins and your grains and everything separate, or maybe you're making that whole meal into like your own homemade TV dinner, if you will. So, why does this work? Because having prepared meals removes the decision-making process during the week and it helps you stick to healthier eating habits. It also saves time and stress during the week. So, for all you working people out there, if you prepare ahead of time, it's going to help relieve that stress when you come home. If nobody wants to come home from a long day of work and then have to make that meal or go grocery shopping, come home, prepare the meal, put the rest of the groceries away, and then so I did a whole video on this of does fast food cost more than healthy food? And I asked, it was a debate kind of topic. I said, is it really more expensive or are we just too lazy to cook it, to prep it and to cook it? And most people said, you're right. We are too lazy or not lazy. Most people said they're too busy to do all the steps that it takes. And it's easier to drive through, to go to a fast food restaurant or out to eat because you don't want to sit there and prepare. But you are going to save yourself money, calories, you're going to save yourself a weight gain and stress with this meal prep. I promise you, meal prepping is probably one of the most important things. Like working out is great, but meal prepping, because it takes longer to do, it is going to save you everywhere with your wellness journey. Track your progress daily. Now we already know, we have our year goal, but it's the little steps that we do daily that get us to that goal. So your action step is to keep a small health journal. Write down, I've said this before, write down your meals, your exercise, how you're feeling. Your emotions are so important, both physically and mentally. And if you're tracking on a fitness goal, tracking a fitness goal, such as your steps or your workout, mark that progress at the end of the day. So, like, did I hit that? Did I drink my water goal that I said? Did I hit my steps? Maybe you're tracking, your 10,000 steps, your 5 miles a day. Maybe you're just tracking, your weights. And people, in the beginning of a weight loss journey, I always say get your body fat done, get your measurements and get your body fat done. But why does this work? So tracking keeps you aware of your progress and it helps you stay motivated, right? Because we're hitting those little steps, we're hitting those little successes, and that motivation propels us forward. And it provides a way to reflect on what's working and where improvements might be needed. So think of, okay, well, this week I didn't hit that 1 or 2 pound goal. You can look back at that journal or where you're writing down your progress, and then you'll be able to see, oh, well, I didn't do as many steps this week, or oh, I didn't drink as much water as I thought that I did. So when you journal, it gives you that tracking. And that's why I always say track how you feel, because how you feel, remember, it's emotional. When it's emotional, we are more connected with our progress, with our well-being. Another one, practice mindful eating. So the action step before each meal, take a moment to appreciate the food in front of you. How many times we sit down and we're like, oh, yum, and we just start scarfing. So focus on eating slowly, savoring each bite, and listening to your body's hunger and fullness cues. Why it works? Mindful eating promotes healthier digestion, helps you avoid overeating, and fosters a healthier relationship with food. Most people will sit down and eat a meal so fast that their brain doesn't catch up to their stomach or their stomach doesn't catch up to the brain. And we have a tendency to overeat. Give yourself that time to like let it catch up, right? Because all of a sudden, then you've ate too much and then you're stuffed, right? And then you feel terrible because you didn't take time to kind of just let that food sit there. Also, and I had a friend had said this to me years ago about savoring the food, tasting the food. When you take the example of you come home from work, right? We're busy. You're trying to plan your meal, and we just start eating everything. And you're so ravenous because you last part of the day you didn't get to eat. So by the time you get home, now you're hungry. And you just grab whatever. And you grab the cheap chocolate chip cookies. You're grabbing like whatever, maybe a handful of plain old chocolate chips. No, no, no. You want to think of the best chocolate. If you're going to have chocolate, eat the best chocolate. If you're going to have that steak, savor that steak. Whatever it is that you're eating, remember to enjoy it and remember to think of this food as nourishment for my body. This food, because to me, your food should serve a purpose. I have a example in a lot of my lectures where I'm saying you got a donut and you got an apple. Both contain the same amount of sugar, but what is the donut going to do for you? Nothing. What's the apple going to do for you? It's going to give you vitamins and minerals and nutrients, fiber. So your food should be serving a purpose in your body. So think about that. So when you're mindful eating, think about what it is that food is going to do for your body. Another action is finding a workout buddy or accountability partner. I trained so many people over the years, and most of it is for accountability. A lot of my clients, it's because they wanted someone they could stay accountable. Obviously, we're giving them the best advice and information that they need. That is the main reason, right, why we're training. But a lot of it is accountability. They need someone to give them a push and to make sure, because they'll show up to the gym, that they paid the membership for, if they've got someone there waiting for them there to make them accountable and to push them to their success. But maybe it's just a workout buddy. Hey, that works too. Oh, I got to get up because My friend's going to be there. My daughter, for example, she's got a workout buddy, and she's got to make sure she's at the gym because they're both accountable to each other. And it's so awesome because it does, you don't want to let that person down. They don't want to let you down. So totally. Why does this work? Because having someone hold you accountable increases your chances of sticking to your health goals. Plus, it can make your workouts more fun and enjoyable. You're not just there going around, sometimes aimlessly if you're not really into the gym knowledge, but it's definitely, it helps you keep accountable towards your goals. Uh, Number 7, incorporate rest days. Okay. Don't just go, 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 go. You will get burnout. It's not, you won't, it becomes unenjoyable, not enjoyable. So you got to give yourself at least 1 or 2 rest days into your weekly routine and treat them just as your important as your workout days. Use this time for recovery for activities like stretching, walking, or yoga. Now, rest day, this is a rest day. This is for your fitness. And I'm going to just throw in cheat meals during this conversation. I know we're talking about rest, but why is this important? Rest is essential for muscle recovery and for overall well-being. Because like I said, overworking your body can lead to burnouts, injuries, lack of motivation. So it maintains balance. Now, I'm going to throw in, because I don't believe I talk about it later, but let me just, yeah, I don't think I talk about it later. I do not like the term uh, cheat meals or cheat days because the word cheat is associated with negativity, right? So now you've beat yourself up. You're like, oh, well, I cheated on I'm going to have my cheat meal today. And then, well, what happens is a cheat meal turns into a cheat day, which turns into a cheat week for some. I'm just saying for some. And that one cheat meal can set you back, right? Or that one cheat day can set you back. So when we're talking about, um, so on your rest day, because some people say, oh, it's my rest day, I'm also going to have this a cheat meal day. No. If you want to eat something, eat it and say, this is I don't know if I would say the term I deserve this day. Just I am going, but I kind of do, or I deserve this meal, or this is my fun meal, my happy, whatever. Just I don't like the word cheat meal because you're cheating on yourself with a bad diet. No, we got to think of it in a positivity, like this is my earned meal. And even then, be cautious of what that cheat meal is. Okay, because like I say, I don't want it to set you back. All right, so I'll quit harping on that. Try a new healthy habit or a new healthy recipe each week. So, action step, choose a healthy recipe you've never tried before. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are full of fun, healthy recipes. So, try it each week. It could be a new veggie dish, protein smoothie, a healthy version of a comfort food. I love those. I used to make a cauliflower macaroni and cheese. So instead of the pasta, you use cauliflower. And just that change alone, you were like saving yourself so many calories, but then you were adding in a good, healthy, cruciferous vegetable. So cruciferous, I don't know, however you say that word. But so do something like that, and that makes it fun. And incorporate that into your meal planning for the week. And then so you get to try new veggies. You're hitting 2 action steps. You're trying a new recipe, and you are meal planning at the same time. So tie that in together. Why this works: trying new recipes keeps your meals interesting. You discover new foods that support your health, and it also adds variety, which makes eating healthier more exciting because nobody wants the same diet day after day, week after week, right? But if you think about it, there's a million proteins, not a million proteins, millions and hundreds of vegetables, hundreds of different proteins, millions of recipes when you mix all those things up. Like if you're just tired of eating tuna fish and broccoli or seared tuna and broccoli, or most people eat chicken and broccoli. day after day. No, it gets boring. But if you start throwing in some quinoa and then some lentils, and then now we've got some salmon, you can start making all these different recipes. And I've got a whole thing where you go shopping and you get your grocery list, and then you take and whatever you made that night, you don't want the same thing the next day. You're going to take those leftovers and you're going to make a different meal out of those leftovers. That one's fun too. So keep it interesting, and it'll help keep you propelling forward. Don't forget to schedule some me time for stress relief. I love some me time. Been told I'm selfish more than I like to hear. But I do like time for myself. I do like my me time is like my running, my biking, my swimming because it's for hours. It's 3, 4 hours, right? So the action step now here is blocking out 10 to 20 minutes each day for stress relieving activities like meditation, deep breathing exercises, journaling, or a walk in nature. Why it works. Stress management is huge part of overall wellness. And prioritizing your self-care, which is huge. It helps improve mental clarity, reduces anxiety, and boosts your overall health. So for me, that is my therapy. Biking for long distances, running for long distances, swimming. Swimming, it's not my favorite activity because it is tough. It's one of my toughest things for me to do, but that's what I do. Now, mine is longer than 10 to 20 minutes, but if you're just doing, if that's all the time you have, let that be your time. Meditate, now I'll meditate for 10 to 20 minutes, but my therapy is my long distances. So just set that time aside, and that is your you time. There's nothing wrong with making you a priority. Nothing wrong with that. Self-care, self-love, we need it. Sleep hygiene. Sleep is a big one. A lot of people either get too much sleep or they cheat their sleep. So, action step, set a consistent bedtime and create a relaxing pre-sleep routine. Avoid screens for at least 30 minutes before bed, read a book, or try deep breathing exercises. Why is this good? Because good sleep is foundational for both mental and physical health, and consistent sleep schedule enhances sleep quality, boosts energy, and aids in recovery. I've seen where if you have a restless night, I'll notice that on the scale in the morning. If you get a good night's sleep, you'll notice that as well. Sleep is so important, but typically it's 7 to 8 hours of sleep is the good number of sleep. And when I say good sleep, it's uninterrupted sleep. So if you're up every 2 hours but it was 8 hours of sleep, but every 2 hours you're up, that's not the same. You want uninterrupted good sleep. So you do need to let your brain shut down from the screen, but use like the breathing techniques, the meditation. Maybe that's the time before you go to bed that you do your meditation, your deep breathing exercises, or your time for gratitude and prayer. So, very important part of the process. And a lot of people don't think about sleep when it comes to their wellness, but during my research on especially with cognitive health, sleep is huge. So you want to make sure remember, it's activity, physical activity, nutrition, and sleep are those top three big ones. So I think that was it. That was our last tip. So that was 10 different action steps that you can take. Like I said, you don't have to do all of them. Pick out a few. But the main one in the beginning, start with one habit and really try to focus on that habit. And then just keeping, when you check one off, you go to the next one. But by focusing on one or two action steps, you can make a gradual but significant improvement in your health and wellness journey. And you will feel more empowered to take consistent, realistic actions without feeling overwhelmed. So roll up those sleeves, get ready, get that journal, start taking an inventory of yourself, remember where you want to go for that big goal, and keep pushing forward. I hope you enjoyed this month's wellness topics. Next month, we'll focus on another I think we're going to talk about for March. Uh, are foods, foods that harm you or heal you. So that I think that's going to be our next focus. So please continue um, watching the videos, sharing the videos. You remember, like I said, you never know who might need this in your circle of friends. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you again. Have a great day. Ta-da, ta-da.